Alright, I brought a water, took a few calls that I missed because I was recording the first two sections, and now I'm back. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 11, the finale.
Okay, Mega.
My voice is tired because I have been recording all this stuff at the same time. Oh boy, okay. Welcome to the shop. To start things off, you're going to notice that some items are not available. I'm not going to be showing that off in this playthrough at all, so if you want to see any shop stuff, then I'm going to have a link to a very useful website in the extras video, so feel free to check that out, because it's a really good link that explains, you know, every single item, their prices, their discount prices, because Dr. Light's items do actually go on discount sometimes on certain days of the week, so that's pretty cool. And you have everything here. You have lives, E-tanks, W-tanks, a mystery tank, which is slightly different than how mystery tanks usually operate. Not only does it heal all of your energy and health, but it also turns small weak enemies into one-ups, which is pretty great. Things that cut your health in half, and a whole bunch of Auto's parts. Auto's chips are back, including energy balances, which we don't need because there is no weapon energy to pick up in stages, so that's pretty useless. To go into the castle, though, you're definitely going to want the auto-charged chip, which is going to automatically charge your Mega Buster all the time without having to hold down the button. Very convenient. The Buster Plus, which actually makes your pellet shots a little bit bigger and a little bit more normal size to hit enemies easier. The Shock Absorber, which you may have noticed that every time I fire a Mega Buster shot, I have a little bit of recoil. After firing the fully charged Mega Buster shot, now that's not going to happen anymore, so that's good. And a cooling system. As you'd imagine, it cools your double gear faster than normal, and you're definitely going to want all that stuff for the Wily Castle and Superhero mode. Everything that I just bought from Auto, you're going to want for the Wily Castle and Superhero mode, because Wily Castle or Gear Fortress is not easy at all, and, well, I mean, I say it's not easy. It's definitely demanding, but it's not. It's weird. It's weird. You'll see. Here we go.
Open your eyes, Riley.
Okay, so, yeah, like I said, this fortress is a little bit weird, and we can take a look at all the special weapons that we have collected throughout our adventures so far. This fortress is a little bit weird in that it's kind of lopsided and kind of a weird ending for Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11 has been pretty amazing this entire way through, from the cutscenes to the voice acting to the stages themselves. It's all been pretty great. All of it has been pretty great, but then we get to the fortress where it's just kind of weird. As you'll see, not to spoil too much, but the first two stages are what you'd expect from a fortress, and then it's just gonna get weird. But we'll get to it when we get to it. Let's start with the fortress itself. The gimmick of Gear Fortress 1 is going to be the spinning gears. Obviously, you can use speed gear to slow those gears down and have more time to, you know, plan out jumps. Not much to it. pretty easy gimmick, difficult to master. This stage is, you know, lots of players now can make this stage look pretty easy, but the first time you play, this stage is really, really taxing. It's easily the hardest stage of the game, I think. No, in fact, I know this is the most difficult stage of the game. Like, without a doubt, this is easily the most difficult stage of the game. It's also the longest, I believe. Or, nah, Gear Fortress 2 might be the longest stage. Maybe. No, I'm pretty sure Gear Fortress 2 is a little bit longer than this. But it's still, this is still the most difficult stage of the game. Again, one of the things that make Gear Fortress so weird, usually you'd expect these castle stages to get progressively more and more difficult. But, nope. Not really. Gear Fortress 1 is the most difficult stage of the game, and everything else gets a little bit easier from there. The music, though, is phenomenal. I love the soundtrack. Gear Fortress is amazing. Unfortunately, they only have one theme for Gear Fortress, so you're going to be hearing the same thing for Gear Fortress 2, Gear Fortress 3, and Gear Fortress 4. So that's kind of a shame. Thankfully, the theme itself is amazing and super catchy, and my favorite song in this game. This and the Dr. Wily theme, before you actually fight Dr. Wily, like the regular Wily theme, is pretty amazing too. I'm doing it again. I'm getting caught just listening to the music. I can't help it though. The soundtrack is really good. And okay, now there's something I can talk about. As you expect from Fortress stages, they're going to force you to use all your special weapons and probably waste all your special weapon energy. But wait, you're saying, doesn't that mean that I am in trouble in superhero mode? I have to use W tanks to refill my weapon energy, right? Well, yeah, but thankfully the Gear Fortress, you know, isn't a classic era Wily Fortress, so you don't have to conserve all your weapon energy for all 4 stages. You can just use some of it, and then you're going to go back to the main menu, back to the map screen in between every single stage, and you know, when you head into Gear Fortress 2, all of your special weapon energy that you wasted in the first stage will be back, and all your health will be back, and everything will be hunky-dory. So don't worry about wasting your special weapon energy on the first stage and then worrying that you're not going to be able to use more of it in stage 2, 3, or 4, because you will. They're still not going to give you any weapon energy drops here in Gear Fortress, especially in superhero mode, or only exclusively in superhero mode, but never fear, because when you get to Gear Fortress 2, all your special weapon energy will be, you know, healed back up and back in full. So yeah. First boss. An old familiar face that we all know and love. It is the Yellow Devil. This is Yellow Devil Mark III, specifically called Yellow Devil Mark III. I use an E-Tank here because this thing's really scary. Man, this is the hardest boss of the game, I want to say. Because the boss of Gear Fortress 2 and Gear Fortress 4, even Gear Fortress 4 is not nearly as difficult or scary as this thing. As with all Yellow Devils, it divides itself up into many little pieces to go back and forth the screen really fast. Shoots lasers, sometimes it shoots a series of energy spheres. Also has the speed gear, which is really dangerous. Divides itself up into 9 mini devils. They charge you in groups of 3 first, and then they do 2 waves. In superhero mode specifically, they do 2 waves. And in every other difficulty, they just do 1 wave each. But in superhero mode, they do 2 waves. The only mini devil you can actually hit is the one with the eye. And yeah, that's basically it. Dodge the small pieces. Maybe take advantage of the double gear technique like I do here to deal some damage to kill at the end. Shoots lasers, energy spheres, goes back and forth the screen real fast as you expect devils to do. Mini devil blobs is its speed gear technique. Originally, Dr. Wily wanted to outfit this thing with both speed gear and power gear at the same time, but he couldn't. So he had to just hope that the speed gear would be enough to overwhelm Mega Man, which it almost was. And in fact has been a few times in other recordings that I'm not going to show here. Anyway, we're done, ladies and gentlemen, with the hardest stage of the game. That was the hardest stage of the game. This stage, Gear Fortress 2, is the last real stage of the game, and easier than Gear Fortress 1. Easier boss and easier stage overall. The gimmick of Gear Fortress 2, there's two gimmicks for Gear Fortress 2. There's skull towers that you have to destroy, and skull and other skull things with spikes that chase you. You'll see the skull thing with spikes that chases you in a second. And in fact, you're about to see it now. There it is. That thing we saw at the beginning of the stage, yeah, that chases you a few times throughout the stage and tries to crush you and kill you. Obviously, touching that is instant-kill, so don't touch that at all. Although, ironically, the one at the very beginning of the stage that we saw, you can actually touch that all you want and not die for some reason. It's kind of weird, but, you know, whatever. So yeah, get away from that as fast as you can, and that's the end of the introduction to the first gimmick. Now, the second gimmick, which we're about to see right now, is these giant vertical skull pipe platform things. It's got an eye laser beam and a mouth laser beam, and just avoid both of them as best you can. You can take that thing out in 2 seconds with the Tundra Man's weapon. And yeah, not much more to say. The gimmicks are pretty self-explanatory and straightforward in Gear Fortress 2, just as they were in Gear Fortress 1. But Gear Fortress 1 manages to make the platforming pretty difficult with that. Gear Fortress 2 does not make the stage very difficult with its gimmicks at all. It's actually really, really easy. We're already halfway done the stage. It's a weird fortress, man. Like, I love this game to death, but it's a weird way to end the game. To just ramp up the difficulty with Gear Fortress 1 and then steadily lower it bit by bit with each and every single subsequent stage. It's like Wily didn't have enough time to do this, to create his Gear Fortress and actually fight Mega Man to the death again, as he always does at the end of every game. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, I blew past the first stage too, but the first stage takes a lot of practice and a lot of memorization of the reappearing, disappearing blocks, of enemy placement. First stage is not easy at all. Second stage is just, I got through this on my first try in normal difficulty. Even in superhero mode, it only took 2 tries to get through the stage. Whereas stage 1 in superhero mode took quite a few tries, because Yellow Devil is a major ass kicker, but this stage only took 2 tries, because not only is the stage easy, the boss is easier than Yellow Devil. As is usually expected for most games that feature a Yellow Devil, but, you know, I expected a little bit more from Mega Man 11. Still though, overall, despite the weird difficulty curve to the bottom that's introduced here in the Gear Fortress, this game is still pretty phenomenal and well-paced and a good challenge for any Mega Man fan. Even if it does start getting kind of suspiciously easy at the end, like to the point where you might think they didn't have enough time to do a proper stage 2, 3, and 4, but whatever. Overall, I'm not really going to complain, because in superhero mode all this stuff does so much damage anyway that the fact that it's a little bit shorter and a little bit easier, you know, whatever. I'll take it. It's fine. Speaking of shorter and easier, we're already done. We're already at the boss. The boss being the Mavern, as you'll see in a second. It is... There it is. A giant sphere with a big old face in the center. This thing relies entirely on power gear for each and every single one of its attacks. Dr. Wily originally wanted to build 2 of these. One outfitted with power gear, the one we're fighting right now, and one outfitted with speed gear. He didn't have enough time or money to build both versions, because just building the version with the power gear already cost him a lot. Probably should have built both versions, because this is pretty easy. He shoots lasers, he travels around the screen. As soon as you hit him with the bounce ball, he travels in the opposite direction he was traveling initially. Once he's at half health, he just starts teleporting around the screen, shooting giant lasers at you, teleporting around the screen, shooting giant lasers, teleporting lasers, again and again and again until either it dies or you die. Very easy, weak to bounce ball, not much to it. We're already done, and now that's it. That's the last real stage of the game. Now we're moving on to the 2 not stages, starting with this one. You'll notice, by the way, we still have access to Dr. Light's lab and the save and load screen from the Wily Castle. It's pretty cool. And we also have access to the robot select, to the actual main stage select screen. I'm going to show that off in the extras video, just as a quick side thing, because it's a really cool thing that keeps the game streamlined and accessible all the time, every time to all players. It's pretty great. It's a small thing, but yeah. Anyway, welcome to stage 3. We're done with stage 3. Yeah, stage 3 is just one hallway with a few enemies and the boss rush, so I'll see you when it's time. It's time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Robot Master rematches after a very short hallway stage. Now it's time to go to the final stage. It's time to fight Dr. Wily. That was fast. See, I told you. Not weird fortress. Weird ending. It doesn't sully my my thoughts on the game overall. It's still wonderful. It's still the best Mega Man game I've played, and it's going to remain the best until Mega Man 12 comes out and they do better than this, because we know there's going to be a Mega Man 12. There's no way there's not going to be a Mega 12. There's got to be a Mega Man 12. Considering how good 11 was, there's got to be a 12 eventually. The entire final stage consists just of this. Fighting some drones and going on this little platform here. Be careful not to fall on spikes. There are 2 instances of traps of death by spike that you need to be careful of. And that's it. This is the end of the game. It's very cinematic. I'll give it to them. That it feels really cool to be going down this linear little path here to get to Wily and take him on, but after playing Mega Man Unlimited, you know, you expect a little bit more. Not that much more, because that was a fan game, but a little bit more. Don't fall for this, just jump, you're gonna be fine. This is not a bottomless pit. Oh hey, it's that thing from the original Mega Man, the whatever it's called, the thing that heals all your health and weapon energy, even though you waste none of it in this stage, so kinda useless, but a fun little gag. Cutscene.
Ah, Mega Man, congratulations are in order. Congratulations to me, that is. My doppelganger did all the work.
Show
yourself, Wily! I won't let you get away with all this!
Just try and stop me if you think you can. End of the line, Mega Man.
Welcome to the final boss of the game. This is Wily Machine 11, Dr. Wily's ultimate testament to the double gear system. First form is a giant version of the drone robots we've been fighting. First form, he just shoots missiles, some that rain down on you, and some that you can use as platforms, like Wily Machine 10. Second phase, he goes up real high in the sky and has his gears try to crush you and mash you into nothing. Shoots little beams, shoots more missiles, some of them as platforms, like Wily Machine 10. Just keep battering him with the acid. He goes down real quick. Second form, the capsule. The true form of Wily Machine 11 and the true testament of the double gear system that he has. Still weak to the acid, also weak to Chain Blast if you don't have any more acid. This thing flies around the room all crazy like. It uses power gear, speed gear all the time. Power gear instances are, shooting those gears at you. Speed gear instances are him going to here it is. Here's speed gear in action. Him barreling in the circle across the room at full fucking speed. I paused there instead of actually going to the sub-menu. I said before, you want to take at least 2 E-Tanks and 2 W-Tanks into this castle. Maybe I didn't say, but you saw me buy them from Dr. Light's shop. It's for this. It's for this and Yellow Devil. This and Yellow Devil are the 2 instances where you're going to want to use your E-Tanks and your W-Tanks, because you're definitely going to want enough acid or Chain Blast to destroy this thing. It is possible to destroy it with just the Mega Buster, but it's very annoying. It takes such a long time to destroy it. Overall, this thing is definitely tough. Not as tough as Yellow Devil, and not a tough final boss overall, even in superhero mode. The acid barrier actually protects you from most damage. I actually killed him before he got to use his desperation technique, so I'm going to show it off here. His desperation technique is double gear. Just like Mega Man does when he's at low health, Wily can use both speed gear and double gear at the same exact time. So he puts up his little protection barreling gear ring things from one of his attacks as you saw earlier, and he just goes super fast, just all over the place, either from left to right, right to left, from diagonal, from a point where you have to slide under him, from a point you have to jump over him. He goes everywhere, he's really fast, he does a ton of damage. Be careful. Him using his double gear is a very dangerous thing, but as you see in superhero mode, I kill him before he actually gets a chance to use it. Bring 2 E-Tanks, 2 W-Tanks, and you'll be fine. That's the end of the game. That's the end of Dr. Wily. That's the end of Mega Man 11. No surprises, no nothing. Cutscene.
Give up, Wily!
You leave me no choice. Time for Plan B! Spare me! I'm a helpless old man! Mercy, Mega Man!
Enough! You can't fool me that easily!
Drat! But don't act so cocky. I didn't lose to you. I lost to my own technology, my double gear. I'm the greatest! I'm a genius!
My. Will you never learn from your mistakes?
Light! What are you doing here? You plagiarist!
Open your eyes, Wily. Look at Mega Man and tell me what you see.
All I see is the instrument of my downfall.
Mega Man wields tremendous power, but he has the intelligence to use it wisely. He's your vision and mine combined. If our ideas, our gears, could mesh together, Mega Man would be the result. We achieved this together. It's not too late, Albert. Atone for your crimes and join me again.
Silence! My plans have only just begun, you fool! And I won't stop until I see both of you kneeling before me in utter defeat!
Hold it, Wily!
Remember this! Dr. Wily always strikes again! Farewell!
Wily!
My old friend, perhaps our gears will never mesh together.
Doctor, the fortress is collapsing!
Ah! I've been searching all over the place for you!
Ah, Otto! Did you succeed?
All good, Doc! But if you don't mind my saying so, I think it's about time we blew this joint!
Dr. Light, follow me!
And yeah, with a promise that he'll return, Dr. Wily flees. We all flee from the collapsing and destroyed Gear Fortress, and that's the end of Mega Man 11. I told you, no weird surprises, no second skull stage, just that's it. It's a weird ending, kind of improperly paced at the very end there, I would dare to say. But overall, this game is phenomenal. It is my favorite game in the series now. Presentation, amazing. Soundtrack grows on you and becomes your favorite soundtrack. At least for me, it became my favorite soundtrack. Art style is exactly what I want for Mega Man. The plot, nothing to write home about, obviously, but enough to get you interested and to keep you interested the entire time. This is a wonderful game, and I really hope they keep making more like this. Obviously, keep adapting and keep evolving and keep making it better and better and better, but this is a solid start to a new series of Mega Man games, I think. It really surprised the fuck out of me how good this game was. Like, this just blew my mind away when I played this the first time. It was really good. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Rambled on a lot for this. I think I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the credits. So until next time, check out my extras video on Mega Man 11 if you want. I covered a whole bunch of stuff there. I'm not going to cover in this main playthrough, obviously. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Mega Man reporting home.
Right on time, Mega.
At the rate we're going, we should have all 8 robots back on their feet by dinner time.
Doctor, did you install Mega's double gear system into Auto?
I did. I'll remove it later, of course, just as soon as Auto's done working.
So this is why you came all the way to the Gear Fortress.
Yes. We were able to recover all their primary components, so they should be just like new. It would be a shame to let their talents go to waste when there's still so much good they can do.
Isn't this great, Mega?
You bet.
Otto, you're slowing down. Why don't you pick up the pace?
If I go any faster, you'll be picking up my pieces.